7:45, lots of new releases at the box office this weekend. So what's worth your movie money? Movie critic from fatguysatthemovies.com, Kevin Carr, joining us again to tell us what we should see, rent, or skip. Great to see you.
Good to see you again, Andy.
Happy Friday morning, Kevin. All right, Saw 6 is out. This horror movie series continues with Tobin Bell. You've seen this. Tell me about this one.
Well, this one, if you liked the first 5, or if you like most of the first 5, you're going to like this one. And if you don't, you deserve everything you get going into it. It's another movie where you got people getting in weird situations and they have to escape from them, and it's very dangerous, bloody, and gory, but has a certain message to it. I personally like the series, so for me, I liked it, but it's for the fans.
But these movies really are not just slasher films. They also are kind of psychological thrillers, too, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a little bit going on behind, and there's a certain twisted morality behind them. So they're more than just your standard, just, you know, beat people up in a basement kind of thing.
All right, so for Saw 6, should we see it, rent it, skip it?
I'm going to say rent it.
Rent it. All right, next up, Astro Boy. It's like a modern Pinocchio, I guess, using sort of computer animation.
True. It's based on a manga series, which is an old comic book from Japan, and it's about a guy who creates his dead son as a robot to sort of replace him. And it's an action movie for kids. It's not as good as like the Pixar type things, but it's not as bad as some of the really bad CGI movies. It's somewhere in the middle, and the kids will like it because it's got a lot of action to it. So somewhere along the lines, if you saw Robots, which was the Fox movie a couple years ago.
Any big voice talent in this movie?
Sure, you've got Freddie Highmore playing Astro Boy. You've got Nicolas Cage as his inventor father. You got Donald Sutherland as the bad guy. So, and Nathan Lane's in it as well.
Astro Boy, see it, rent it, skip it.
This is a rent it.
Okay, this movie's getting a lot of buzz. Amelia, starring Hilary Swank and Richard Gere, based on the life of course, Amelia Earhart, opens tonight, and you've seen this.
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, you know, biopics are hard because it's sometimes, you know, to tell the story, it's not maybe the most exciting movie, and the characters, while Amelia Earhart was a fantastic individual, her life story isn't as exciting on screen, and it's a little bit rocky direction, and it kind of falls flat in a lot of points.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't find much connection to the movie, and while I'm sure Hilary Swank did a fine job, Amelia Earhart may not be the most compelling visually person, you know, and she was a pilot. She did a lot with aviation. She wasn't necessarily, you know, an exciting person to watch about.
Doesn't lend itself to 2 hours of movie dialogue.
No, not at all. I mean, if you're a big fan of Amelia Earhart, go see this.
Okay, but it's historically accurate, we know. So what would you say about this? Would you say see it tonight, or rent it, or just completely skip it?
I'm going to say skip it.
Skip it.
Yeah, this one just didn't kind of work.
Pretty big decision there from Kevin Carr on the biggest movie of the weekend here.
Wow.
Last movie's Vampire's Assistant. Everyone likes vampires these days, it seems. So how do you think this rates?
Well, this one it's based on a young adult series of books. So it's one of these things that it's not for the grown-ups. It's more for teenagers and that sort of thing, about a kid who becomes a vampire and has to, or partial vampire, and has to learn to leave his life and do something more. I enjoyed it. It kind of has this real Halloween spirit to it, and it's sort of like a haunted house on the screen. I enjoyed it. It's something I think you can take your kids to, and they'll like it as well.
So Vampire's Assistant, the verdict, see it, rent it, skip it.
This one I'm going to say see it.
You're going to say see it and skip Amelia. Okay. All right, Kevin Carr from Fat Guys at the Movies, and a new IMAX movie theater opening.
Yeah, the Lenox is opening an IMAX screen. They're showing Where the Wild Things Are right now, and you can go at 6 to 8 o'clock tonight, and they're having like a gala event where you can bring your kids and get prizes, and it's great for people on the west or the north side of town because you don't have to go all the way over to Easton now.
That's a great thing. Okay, listen, thanks so much, Kevin, for coming on the show.